Hey Chidari! Just quickly double checking that everything is fine. I don't need any more technical difficulties. Yeah, everything looks good. Alright, here we are. Episode 7. And I gotta do, or not do, the thing that I usually make a mistake about when we start. Hey there. I gotta read this thing. Right. So. Wait. I wonder if... No, it's okay. For a second I thought maybe this game also has an issue with my controller, but it doesn't. We're here. Hey, Matchan. Okay, we're here, we're reading, and we're not clicking for... Please be proud of me. I think it took me 6 episodes to get to the point where I don't do it. Alright, so... Requiem of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Today is the day of the funeral for the Golden Witch and her game. Woof. Woof. In fake red, yes. Hey Tostators, hey Dizzo. Yes, it's that pink shirt that the camera kind of turns red. Yeah. It's okay. The days of the game have now ended, and fond memories are all that remain. Here, the cold, hard truth will be revealed, and the game will meet its death. Oh my god, it's gonna die to death! The chapter that has my favorite scene in all the VN is finally here, and it's been a long wait. Ooh, okay. It's time for the truth. Oh my god. I hope it doesn't slap me across the face. I might not take it well. Thank you for appreciating me, Bea. I feel very seen. Yeah. There is a bit of difficulty. Okay then. Let there be difficulty. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this game before, but I own Umineko. It's okay. Okay. That sounds like Virgilia's voice. Oh god. Oh no, no, what am I getting into? Oh no, oh no, no, no.
灰は灰に、塵は塵に、幻は幻に、そして夢は夢に。夢とは寄せては返す波間の真砂に描くもの。それは波が寄せるたびに真っ白に戻ってしまう儚きもの。
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. Even without the rodent.
だから心なき人はそれを描くことを無駄なことだと嘲笑うだろう。
At the drawing, okay.
しかしもう彼女の描いた夢を消す波は二度と訪れない。
To wipe away the dream she drew.
彼女が最後に描いた美しき夢はもう永遠に消えることはない。
I guess that would break up the tension a little bit, at least.
さあさあ思い浮かべてごらんなさい。それは暖かき春の日の柔らかき午後の日差しがそのまま陰ることを忘れたかのよう。それはとてもとても素敵なことなのだから。あなたの最後の夢の立ち会い人プブリウス・ワルギリア・マロ。
Okay. Alright, we jump into suspects. The suspects were gathered in a room, and several inquisitors were reporting on the results of their investigation. Their uniforms closely resembled those of the Iron Maiden, but they were slightly different. Also different were the badges signifying their department. New characters. Yes. That sounds like it. Then came the sound of someone clapping their hands once. It was the lead female inquisitor. It was her signal that all reasoning had been completed.
近景以上にて明々白々以上の推理からあなたのアリバイが存在しないことの証明を終えるものなりや
At the other end of her pointing finger was a quivering maid with frightened eyes. Her name was... No, that wasn't important. All that mattered now was that she could have freely entered the locked room study where the victim was found, and furthermore that it had been proven that her claimed alibi for the time of the crime was contradictory. Shaking, the maid tried to continue her illogical pleading, but all her arguments had already been destroyed.
以上にてフーダニット、ハウダニットの証明を完了するものなりやあなたが犯人である事実は揺るがぬものと知りたまえ
そんなどうして私が敬愛する旦那様を殺さねばならないのですか動機がありません理由がありません
誰がいかにして犯したかそれのみが立証できれば十分であると知りたまえ近景慎んで申し上げるミステリーに動機は不要であると知りたまえ
The Inquisitor spoke coldly. After finishing her witch's prayer, Virgilia stepped back from the casket. Yeah, I did have the feeling that it sounded like a funeral. But okay. Which lay on an altar bedecked with many beautiful roses. In her place, Battler moved to the front of the casket wearing his territory lord's cape. Though the cape was supposed to represent dignity and majesty, it somehow made Battler look smaller. Battler held a book with a majestic binding in his hand. It was a game record that had just been written. Or perhaps it was a tale, a game, or else a fragment. Written in it was the dream that would be more enjoyable for her than any other. Battler pressed it against his forehead and contemplated for some time. Oh no, I don't like dead-eyed Battler. Then he kissed it and laid it gently in the casket. It was placed upon her chest. It made her look like a little girl clutching her favorite stuffed animal as she drifted off to sleep.
これは俺からお前に捧げる唯一の物語だ。
This tale will be shut up with you in your casket for all eternity. So no one will be able to read it except for you in your casket.
猫箱に閉ざされた唯一不変不可侵の永遠の物語
だから誰にも物語を汚せない、否定できない、反論できない、俺とこいつだけの二人だけの唯一絶対の死。
Oh, sorry. Clicked too fast.
クソ誰が
A man dashed through a town wrapped in twilight. The daytime hustle and bustle of this charming old-fashioned village, which combines tradition with stylistic beauty in the classic style of the last century, now seemed like a mere dream. The orange setting sun was already hidden behind a clock tower, and the narrow alleyways were rapidly descending into darkness. As the gas lights began to turn on, they only made the darkness of the twilight stand out all the more. The man sprinted. There was no time. He had to hurry. He'd had several experiments to do and things he had to check, and it had all taken longer than he'd expected. Okay.
ああ、確かにそうだろう。ミステリーはフーダニットとハウダニットさえあれば十分だ。
In the mystery genre, the motive, or the whodunit, is given the least precedence. The only thing needed for a murder to exist is for a culprit to commit it. No part of that requires a motive, so it's usually the most ignored element. In fact, these days, there are even some who call it an unnecessary element in mystery
ホワイ
stories.
ダニットだけで犯人が決まっちまったら、そりゃミステリーじゃねえ。
Interesting.
プロパガンダだ。だからって動機ってやつ、心ってやつをないがしろにしちゃいけねえんだ。
Evil
私
rodent
たちは
propaganda.
彼女の最後の眠りがどれほど楽しいものであるかを知っています。だから何人たりとも彼女の眠りを妨げることはできないでしょう。楽しい夢に微笑むこの眠りを妨げられるものなどいるわけもないのですから。さあ、私たちはもう立ち去りましょう。私たちが賑やかにしていたら彼女の夢を、眠りを覚ましてしまいますよ。
そうだな。寝ている子には毛布をかけて部屋を暗くして静かに立ち去るのが決まりってもんだ。
After looking at the casket one last time, Virgilia turned around quietly. Battler did the same, but he then stopped and turned to face the rose-covered altar. Battler said his final words with his heart. As long as those words didn't leave his mouth, no one would ever know what they were. However, those words of the heart caused Battler's expression to change several times. At first, he frowned sadly. Then his face clouded with remorse, and then changed to a resigned, bittersweet smile. It flashed through several varied expressions. Then the final expression that crossed his face was surprisingly a smile, a gentle smile. Something rose to Battler's lips. However, he bit it back down. There could certainly be no words to express the many feelings he kept in his chest. So saying anything aloud would probably be crude. Battler understood this and stopped himself from speaking once more with a resigned smile.
Arigato.
お礼を言われるようなことは何も。
あとを頼む。
After seeing Virgilia nod back at him, Battler turned away from the altar one more time and left the chapel. Virgilia also disappeared, and all disturbances that might have interrupted her blissful sleep were gone. The Inquisitors listened with calm, no, scornful gazes. They listened to the frantic babbling of the maid accused of murdering her master. A patch. However, nothing she said could bury the fault in her own alibi. They were all mere emotional arguments. Oh, thank you for the BTs. I loved and respected my master so much. I had no motive for killing him. No matter how much she spoke, it only made her look more and more like the floundering true culprit struggling pathetically. The whodunit and howdunit had been satisfied. As for the whydunit, the motive, the heart, who would care? No matter how much she spoke of her gratitude for her master, who had graciously fed her and given her a job when she had been left to starve on the streets after various misfortunes, that didn't help her case in the slightest in the mystery genre. Therefore, her motive didn't matter. All of that could just be squeezed out of the culprit afterwards. An inquisitor took out a roll of parchment and held it forth, cutting off the maid's sobs and protests.
あなたがいかにして犯行に及んだか。その告発は大法院にて受理され、あなたの逮捕を許可したことを知りたまえ。これがあなたの逮捕状なり。動機など不要。犯人の特定には一切不要のものと知りたまえ。その上で謹んで申し上げる。我らが SSVD は罪を認めぬ犯罪者に真実を告白させる強制的手段を持つと知りたまえ。我らが異端審問官が正義にて祝福された審問具にてあなたの獅子を絞り上げて焼いて潰して引き伸ばして吊るし上げ、そこより赤き真実を絞り出してみせることを申し上げたてまつる。自白すらも不要。補佐官一同、そのメイドを逮捕したてまつれ。
私じゃないです。私は旦那様を殺に、いや
Alright.
やめな。そのメイドは犯人じゃねえ。
A man kicked the door open and the inquisitors were all shocked at the sight of him. A competent detective at long last, okay.
なぜあなたがここにいるものなり。この事件はもうあなたの担当ではないと知りたまえ。
うるせえ。アリバイがない奴を一人見つけたらそいつが犯人なのか。犯行には動機が、心がいらねえってのか。犯行はな、人が犯すんだよ。心がねえ事件なんて存在しねえ。心を無視した推理なんざ俺は絶対に認めねえ。
あなたのホワイダニット至上主義の主張には辟易するものと知りたまえ。ホワイダニットなど無用。審問すればかようなもの容易に絞り出せるものなり。
Interrogation, huh?
大法院もその女が犯人であることを認めたものなり。
大法院はそのメイド以外の全員にアリバイがあるならきっとそうなんだろうというお前の独りよがりを鵜呑みにしただけだ。他の被疑者のアリバイが崩れれば白紙に戻る。他の連中のアリバイも無様なもんじゃないの。大広間の時計の音は正確に正午を刻んだか。勝手口の犬は全員に吠えるのか。確かにお前はメイドのアリバイの偽証を崩した。それは見事なもんさ。だがそれで終わりなのか。メイドに犯行が可能でもそれを行う動機はあるのか。他の人間のアリバイは完璧なのか。他にもアリバイを偽証している人間がいる。それを探すことを怠るな。犠牲者に怨恨は、金銭関係でトラブルは、動機を捨てるな。心を捨てるな。
I see now that, by coincidence, the title I chose for my stream is very fitting. Guess the Great Court isn't that great after all, yeah. Sounds like someone wants to be thrown into oblivion. What do you mean, Dezo?
動機なんて後付けでどうでもいいなんて、そんな乾ききったミステリーごっこは卒業しちまいな。
メイドが犯人でないならなぜに彼女はアリバイを偽証するものなりや。
yeah, you're making the assumption that if she faked an alibi, it's because of the crime. But if you're not thinking about the motivation of the crime, then you're not thinking about the motivation of the alibi either. So you're conflating the two. I'm a witch of predictions. Oh. Lambda and Burn are part of the Great Court, and you know what they do with people they don't like. Okay, sorry. I haven't thought that far, but okay, I get it.
そしてそれを問うことも茶番。審問し赤き真実を絞り出し、犯行時刻のすべてを赤吉で署名させるだけで良いものと知りたまえ。
ああ、そうだろうな。お得意の拷問で全てを神の目線から客観的に赤裸々に絞り出せばいいさ。
I have a lot of points of contention with that.
でもな、心のねえミステリーと推理のやり方はな、俺が。
Oh, sorry.
すでに本事件は本館に継承されたるものなり、ここに命令書もあるものなり。さあ、補佐官一同、構うことはなしと知りたまえ。そのメイドの逮捕を命じるものなりや。
When she gave this order, her subordinates hesitated, looking back and forth between their superior and that man.
させねえよ。本当の犯人は他にいる。動機から推理可能だ。アリバイトリックなんざ古典通り。心を忘れるんじゃねえ。
心など不要なり。犯行可能な疑わしき人物を導き出し、審問して赤き真実を絞り出せばいい。
He knows one must protect cute maids at all costs. Aww. Squeeze out the red truth. Yum. It sounds like they're gonna squeeze them out of blood or something.
万一犯人でなかったなら、別の疑わしい容疑者を審問にかければいいだけなりや。
そんなのは推理じゃねえ。
退きたまえ。その女を逮捕するものなりや。そのメイドが犯人であると知りたまえ。
使用人が犯人であることを禁ず。
Eh? Yeah, we really are, aren't we? Yeah, you're right. The words of power blasted away the aides who were trying to arrest the maid.
バンダイン20足、第11足。
Oh, Lord.
このメイドを拷問したかった。
Another set of rules.
第二夫人とその愛人のアリバイをもう一度洗いな。
その二人には犯行時刻の明白なアリバイが。
あの程度でアリバイかよ。ボンクラのお前に分かるように説明してたら、時間がいくらあっても足りねえや。めんどくせえ。
Time to up the difficulty. Yeah, hi Zeku.
主席を名乗りたかったら、その程度の捜査と推理を見せてみな。それまでこのメイドへの逮捕状は俺が預かるぞ。
ならあなたに。そのメイドが犯行を犯さなかったことが証明できるなりや。犯行時刻に彼女が台所を離れていたことは明らかと知りたまえ。彼女は犯行時刻にどこで何を。その女にも本館にもあなたにも誰にも証明は不可能なりや。なればこそ審問の拷問具で赤き真実を絞り出すほかなきなり。
真犯人からは血ヘドでも真実でも好きなだけ絞り出してやる。だが真犯人じゃねえ人間へはいかなる審問も拷問も許さね
え。だからこそあなたは甘いと批判されるものなり。疑わしきは全て審問。
I mean, it depends how you define interrogated, because to me it sounds like you're not just like asking them questions, right? Right?
それが我ら異端審問官の魔女裁判であると知りたまえ。
Poof, witch trials. Poof.
そうだな。 俺たちは異端審問官だ。
So his one too.
邪悪な魔女を撃つ、それが商売さ。だが万一にも市民を傷つけてはならない。
Nox rules are like so episode 6. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get familiar with these too. Interesting how the new man here uses a different set of rules from Delnor. I mean, I guess it's different, but I would assume that in spirit it's kind of going the same direction of like, what's the word? Not describing, but setting up bounds for like a proper mystery. Let's see.
疑ってはならない。人間は誰しも自分だけの真実を持つ。それは罪を犯した時にのみ暴かれる。俺たちにはそれを暴く資格が与えられている。だがな、ねえんだよ。
何が？
罪なき人間の罪なき真実を暴く資格なんざ、たとえ神様にだって与えられちゃいねえんだよ。
Interesting. The maid finally realized that he was trying to protect her.
どちら様か存じませんが、ありがとうございます。私本当に犯人じゃないんです。
んなことは知ってら。お前の彼氏は全てを投げ出してお前のためにアリバイを証言するとよ。感謝しとけ。あの若造は名誉も肩書きもお前に比べたら大したもんじゃねえと言いやがったぜ。
そんなことをしたらあの人は。
それには及ばねえ。恋人たちの秘め事を暴くのは三流雑誌の仕事だ。
Third-rate magazines.
ミステリーじゃねえ。俺は心のない推理は絶対に許さねえ。
Okay. Then, for the first time, the man's sullen expression relaxed, and he patted the maid's head unreservedly.
彼氏と幸せになりやがる。だが勤務中に合いびきするのはあまり褒められねえな。時々にしとくんだな。
ありがとうございます。
Pat pats, yes.
ありがとうございます。
Those words were heard only by the two of them. The man had learned of her innocence, which could only be proven by exposing the secrets of a pair of young lovers, and he had rushed about in search of a solution, resentful of the arrogance of those trying to expose this by forcible means.
推理はな、犯人を作ることでも、その過程で罪なき人々の心の真実を踏みにじることでも。
Ooh, I like that. The point is not to create a culprit.
心が大事なんだ。探偵気取るなら心を忘れるんじゃねえ。そいつを忘れたら俺たちはただの知的蹂躙者だ。
Alright, very good, very good.
それを忘れるな。
The Inquisitors couldn't argue back any longer after the man's forceful words. The man's name was Will, but everyone used to call him by a different title. Chief Inquisitor in SSVD. I think that was the chime of a character entry being added, or maybe I heard it wrong. Right. Chief Inquisitor in SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency. 8th District... these are long titles. Of the Great Court of Heaven. Wizard Hunting Right.
これがお前らへの最後の引き継ぎだ。
S.S. Van Dyne, famous writer and critic, but his real name was Willard Huntington Wright. Okay, there we go.
魔術師狩りのライトの名を継ぐなら忘れるな。絶対だ。
Ooh. Okay. new opening. It is very badass, and it's even more badass that it was an actual person. The naming sense of his parents, full points. Favorite year intro, nice. Alright. Every time I hear this opening, I remember the Umineko meme of what? Pete, Erica, and Pete going missing. I don't know what that is. Alright. Read the chapter name. Sorry, I was looking at you guys. Wait, how do I... Here. The Murder of Beatrice. Oof. Oof. Not this song. Oh my lord. Okay. Quietly, quietly, the rain fell down. The rain of sadness dripped down the outer walls of the chapel, quietly washing away the dust of the world of the living. Willard's got so much love, he has X-ray 360-degree vision. Oh no. That sounds badass. This one makes me tear every time. Oh. Today I didn't prepare napkins. I only have like a bit of a napkin. I hope I don't need it. The chapel doors were open. For a wedding, only those with invitations would be allowed in. However, for a funeral, the doors would be open for all those who remembered the deceased. Musical delight? Alright. I mean, it's not like so far it hasn't been. There's been like pretty consistently like, wow, new track and it's badass, and then a new track and it's badass, and then a new track and it's badass, okay. So this must be a funeral. A figure holding an umbrella approached the chapel. It was Will. A reception desk had been set up in the entrance to the chapel. There were quite a lot. I feel like every episode there's a significant number. Now, I haven't counted them, and I believe you that if this is the one with the highest count, it probably is, but the whole journey has been full of musical delight, so it can only get better from here, and there's more. If you count the tea party and... oh, okay. Oh, really, Zeku? How come? As the figure approached, Kanon, who had been sitting at this desk, stood up and welcomed him with a bow. A bow! Ah! It always comes out wrong. It's a bow, not a bow. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. It's Federin's image song. Okay. I don't know how to feel about the Game Master. I'm quite... I'm braced, okay? For shenanigans. Let's see. Squid! Good morning. Yeah, no worries, Zeku, no worries.
こちらが受付でございます。弔問の皆様にはご褒美を賜っております。ご記帳をお願いいたします。
悪いな。弔問じゃねえ。待ち合わせだ。
There's a new Game Master episode starts with a funeral. Yeah. Indeed. Is everything alright? Because my chat was loading there for a moment. Like, the spinner was going. It looks good. I'm sure you'll let me know if anything's wrong with stream. You came to a funeral to meet someone? A dubious expression rose to Kanon's face. Hey, Bancho! Hey. Yes, new character! Will pulled an envelope from his pocket and showed him the sender's name.
失礼いたしました。どうぞお入りを。
すまねえな。せめてそいつをもらえるか。
ありがとうございます。きっとお喜びになられると思います。
Kanon handed him one of the golden roses being handed out to all the mourners. Will took it, silently bowed his head and entered the chapel. Inside the chapel, several people who appeared to be the family of the deceased were gathered together, and they all seemed to be recalling memories of the departed. We hadn't heard this one in a while.
Nothing.
Yeah, very steamy.
お父様、どうかしっかり控え室の方で少し休みましょう。私が殺したのよ。私が。
Alright, so it's okay.
とんでもない。どうしてローザ様が殺したことになりましょう。
It's referencing that thing again, okay.
お父さん、すごい泣きよね。
ベアトリーチェか。
絶対お母様が亡くなった時より泣いてるわ。
こら、今はそんなこと言うときちゃうで。
Some sobbed, unable to conceal their tears, and some spoke softly of old memories. This is such a weird gathering. When other people imitate Kinzo's lunacy. Some things never change. Nope. Oh no. I hope I'll be able to entertain you. I don't know what to say in this one. It is in fact the one. Oh god. Yeah. They were all remembering the departed in their own ways, it seemed. When Will approached the altar, several people turned around. Of course, none of them knew who Will was. Paying this no mind, Will walked in front of the casket on the altar, which seemed to be buried in golden roses. Inside the casket, there was no corpse. Instead, as though it lay there in place of a body, there was a single thick book with an extravagant binding. The space all around it was filled with countless golden roses. There were words printed on the book's cover. Isn't it interesting that we see Kenzo? I mean, I don't know what that means. How that translates onto reality, but at this point, what even is reality? To my beloved Beatrice, October 5th, 1986.
ミス・ベアトリーチェ。ミセスだったら許しな。会ったことはねえ。だが、お悔やみ申し上げるぜ。
He took the rose he had received from the reception area and placed it in the casket. He had absolutely no connection with the woman called Beatrice. However, since he had come to visit the funeral, he had to follow this minimum display of respect for the dead. No, our bear is still there, just fine. As part of this, Will prayed for the passage of the departed to the next world. What is dead may never die.
失礼だが、どちら様かな？私は後宮クラウス、喪主の代行です。こっちは子供のリオン。
はじめまして。
へ？
後宮リオンです。
リオン？
But this is true. Yeah, there's a 404 error. Yeah, I have no idea. It's just Leon. Yeah. Save. Leon not found. Really? Yeah, okay. That's probably why it felt so familiar for a moment. This feels like that The Office voice where someone else completely says, like, completely impersonates Jim. It's like, no, I'm Jim. What are you talking about? I'm in all the pictures. Pam comes along, gives him a kiss. No, it's Jim. I've always been Jim. What? Yeah, it's okay. So go again. The blonde hair gave it away.
誰だお前?
Is this like an alternate reality where they had a boy named Leon and not a girl named Jessica? What's happening?
理科の理に魚するの魚でリオンと読みます。
Yeah, another of the Ushiromiya style names.
ちょっと日本人っぽくない名前ですよね。
Will stared at Leon's face, wearing a confused expression. He hadn't seemed to be particularly interested in Kyle's, but apparently Leon had drawn some sort of reaction from him. Rather than interest, it was more as though he felt like something was out of place. You think?
旦那様、奥様がそろそろと。そうか。一同の諸君。
Look, I will admit, I'll be the first to come out and say, my memory is very, very bad, okay? It retains weird things that are not connected to anything, and forgets more important things that should have been connected to a lot of things in my mind, but weren't. This is not one of them, so you can't gaslight me. Yeah, sure, sure, that's...
ここで賑やかにしては個人もうるさがるだろう。控室の準備が整ったそうだ。場所を変えようではないか。
When Klaus called out to everyone, they began to move towards the chapel waiting room.
すまん。リオンはしばしお客様のお相手を頼む。私はみんなを控室に案内する。
はい、父さん。
It looked like a natural conversation with no awkwardness for either father or child.
親子なのか?
I liked more chapter 6.
そうですが、何か?
後宮クラウスの子供は ジェシカのはずだ。
ジェシカは妹です。
Ah, okay.
お呼びする必要はありますか？
いや、ない。
Yeah, that happens a lot. This Natsuki and Krause's successor looks sus. They're having fun, Red Needle. It's okay. Go crazy. It's fine. Right, so what are you referring to, Desm? Ah, because the narrator said father or child, and then Will said father and child, is it? Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm not surprised by any sort of extra meta layer or breaking of the fourth wall or anything. Like it's within the style of the novel anyway, so it didn't particularly surprise me or take me aback or anything. Apparently, some sort of game was already being played right off the bat. Scratching at his head with an irritated look on his face, Will glanced around.
失礼ですが、あなた様は個人とはどのようなご関係で？
全く何もねえ。迷惑な話さ。
ではあなたはどうしてこの葬儀に？
Since Leon was a fairly mild person, Will's behavior was met with nothing more than a blank expression. A normal person would probably have put on a dubious look long before this. Will scratched his head again and yelled angrily at someone other than Leon. I see this. Well, yeah, that's lost on me because I wouldn't have understood the substance of the Japanese version. I pay back for the trolling with sincere I don't get it whenever Chet asks her opinion on yet another turn out of left field in the plot. I'm sorry, I don't know how to react to that. Crashing of a funeral is next level, I guess.
来たぜ。そろそろ顔を出しやがれ。
The wind is blowing, that's not a good sign. It never is. The members of the Ushiromiya family had already followed Krause's instructions and moved to the waiting room. By now, this cold, vast chapel decorated with gold roses was empty except for Will and Leon.
よく来たわね。異端審問官、魔術師狩りのライト。
Right. The girl's voice came suddenly from behind the pair. Chidorin is the happiest right now. When Leon turned around in surprise, the girl had appeared out of nowhere and drifted down on top of the altar. She landed softly on the sacred funeral altar as though this was perfectly normal, crushing the golden roses under her shoes. Of course, Leon did not know this girl. Just why on earth were all of these people unrelated to the funeral? Popping up one after another.
俺はもう引退だ。仕事なら新しいライトに頼みな。
Wait.
いいえ。
Wait, what? Ask the new right? There's more than one? What's happening?
あなたに頼みたいのよ。この事件を送った物語は読んでくれたかしら。
斜め読み程度にはな。
あなたがどなたか存じませんが、そこから降りてください。そこは神聖な祭壇ですよ。
Snapping out of a daze, Leon told the girl to get down off the altar, but the girl ignored this completely. There's no more than 19 rights in Rocket Juice. Okay, thank you, Dozo. I see, I wouldn't have gotten that. Interesting. Okay. On top of that, Will kept on talking to the girl as though Leon wasn't even there.
リオンとか言ったな。こいつは何者だ？
その子が名乗った通りよ。
Ushiromiya Leon. There's no case of a person with that name appearing in any of the previous games. Saying read every right is in the next room over. Yeah.
お前の駒なのか？
いいえ、このゲーム版の正しく正当な駒。登場人物よ。
ゲームマスターはお前だ。なら、お前の駒だろ。
ベアとの猫箱よりもっと大きな猫箱で閉ざしただけよ。リオンはその中で生まれ得る可能性を持つ一つの駒。
そういうことか。
Oh man.
結局、お前の駒というわけだ。
私が置いた駒という意味では正しいわ。
ただし、エリカのような配下の駒ではないということか。
エリカって誰？エリカさん？
理解しようとするな。頭痛になら。
I love this. Don't try to understand. You'll just get a headache. Does this apply for us as well? Leon didn't have a clue what they were talking about. However, it seemed clear that, though neither of them were familiar, they both knew a lot about the Ushiromiya family.
私にはあなたたちが何の話をしているのかわかりません。とにかくそこのお嬢さん、その祭壇から降りてください。後ろ宮家次期当主としてお願い申し上げます。
Even Leon was finally forced to speak in a raised voice at this girl, who continued to chat while casually standing on the altar. However, the girl ignored this completely. On the other hand, Will did show a reaction.
次期当主はクラウスのはずだ。
父クラウスは私が20歳になるまでの間の当主代行です。20歳になると同時に次期当主である私が当主を継承することになっています。
初耳だ。証拠はあるのか？
It seemed that even Leon was starting to get ticked off by now. That calm expression seemed to twitch slightly.
これは次期当主に許されている片翼のわしの銀の指輪。これで証拠になりますか？
銀の指輪？金の？当主の指輪は何度も登場したが、次期当主の銀の指輪など初耳だ。クラウスもジェシカもそんなものを指に通していた記憶がね
え。嬉しいわ。
He seems very well informed about everything that's happened so far. Is that what Byrne meant by the tale she sent him?
斜め読みにしてはちゃんと読んでくれてるじゃない。
There it is.
魔女のよこす文章はどこにろくでもねえことが書いてあるか分かったもんじゃね
え。At every turn, there's always something absurd.
ましてやそれが元老院の大魔女とくりゃな。
あなた方は一体何者なんですか？失礼だが 私には何の話をしているのかさっぱりわかりません。個人への献花がお済みでしたらどうぞお引き取りを。どうやらあなた方は当家がおもてなしすべき方々ではないようです。
Leon finally ran out of patience. These were the strictest words that this gentle kid could unleash. However, Will and the girl seemed not to care at all.
俺も来たくて来たわけじゃねえ。
時間の無駄だから話を進めるわ。ライト、このゲームに挑みなさい。ゲームマスターベルンカステルの名においてこのゲームにあなたを招待してあげるわ。
お断りだ。
どうして？
俺はもう引退する身だ。推理もミステリーも知ったことか。
何をして余生を過ごすというの？魔術師狩りのライトが魔女狩りをやめて。
狐狩りでも潮干狩りでもするさ。俺がここに来たのはあんたと余生を語るためじゃねえ。
断るために来たと。
ご検察いただき光栄の極みと知りたまいなり。
なら好きにしたらいいわ。どこへでも行けばいい。ただしここから立ち去れればの話だけれど。
それで条件と報酬は？
In truth, Will had already given up from the beginning. He knew that he was incapable of refusing an invitation from the great Lady Berncastle.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰か。それが私のゲームよ。報酬は私に対するその無礼な口の利き方を許すこととこの礼拝堂を立ち去る権利。
退屈を愛さない魔女は存在な言葉を愛すると聞いたぜ。
それは1000年を生き飽きたババア魔女の話よ。私はまだまだ若いからあんたみたいな言葉遣いの男をどんな過酷な運命に閉じ込めてやろうかと無双。
それで敵は誰だ？
いないわ。妨害などするわけもない。このゲームをあなたが美しく詰めるところをただ私たちは感激したいだけ。仲間も用意する。それがそのリオンよ。
After hearing that name spoken out of the blue, Leon frowned once more. Apparently, they were moving things along without Leon's knowledge or understanding, which was truly irritating.
リオンは後ろ宮家の人間。後ろ宮家の誰とも面識のないあなたには心強い味方となってくれるでしょう。何の話か分かりかねますが、事情のわからない話には何もご協力はできかねますよ。
だそうだ。頼もしい限りだな。
私と我が主を楽しませなさい。魔術師狩りのライト。アウアウは行儀のいい感激者だけれど、私は退屈するとポップコーンを投げつけたりしちゃうかもね。
Will scratched his head with a displeased look on his face. He wasn't at all interested in getting involved, but by now he realized that he couldn't disobey Berncastle's orders. Then he approached the casket and pointed at its rose-filled insides.
ベアトリーチェ殺人事件の依頼とのことだが、バンダイン20足、第7足、死体なき事件であることを禁ず。
悪魔の証明ね。棺にないだけじゃない。死体が存在しないことをあなたが証明できない限り、これはミステリー。
第1足、手がかりすべての揃わぬ事件を禁ず。
安心なさい。すべてはここに揃っている。
There was no change to Will's unsatisfied expression, but he seemed to have understood that everything was at least in order. From the moment he was summoned by an uninhibited, fickle, cruel Great Witch of the Senate, a mere inquisitor like him was bound to be treated as no more than an underling. Chat is trying to gaslight me into believing there was some Erika character and that Leon wasn't added in this episode. Ay, Zeku. What can I say? Other than trust in yourself. It's what you get. It's the one thing you can do when you're faced with gaslighting. He had never possessed a way to refuse her.
空っぽの棺の主を殺したのは誰か。引き受けてやら。ただし、俺の流儀でやらせてもらう。
ご自由に。
まず最初にすることは、お前に現状を理解させることだな。
Oh, I'm curious how he's gonna go about that.
それをお願いできると、私もとても助かります。
Leon's face was a goulash. Displeased expressions, seeming nonplussed, angry, and confused, all at the same time.
キラ、実際に見た方が早い。
いいでしょう。音もしましょうとも。
Will signaled with his chin for Leon to follow him and spun around. After snorting once in an unsatisfied manner, Leon followed Will while looking deeply skeptical of the latter's ability to explain any of this in a way that would make sense. Based goulash comparison, I guess. As she watched the pair leave the chapel, Brancasso sneered silently at them, with a cold smile on her face.
尊厳なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女。フェザリーヌなんとかアウアウローラの巫女にして奇跡の魔女。
Feathering something, wow.
ベルンカステルの名において、このゲームの開始を宣言するわ。
Okay.
物語のタイトルは、黄金の魔女のレクイエム。ベアとの葬儀にふさわしい物語を紡ぎなさい。さて、どんな腹渡を引きずり出してくれるやら。
After watching the pair leave the chapel, Brancasso's form evaporated into the empty air just as she had arrived. All that remained was her unpleasant cackling. This cat looks like a dog when she says, "Oh." I mean, I can see how all of those vowels together would be confusing. I guess it also depends on how easy it would be to say that in your... given your mother tongue. I feel like for Romanian it's not that difficult. It's basically very, very, very close to how you would naturally try to read that as a Romanian person when you see it written down. Outside it was still raining. When Canon saw the guest and the head's successor approaching the reception desk, he bowed deeply. Is this before or after Berncastle got covered with cheesecake? Good question, Pancho. Don't do that to me. I can't. Alright, at least we're getting tons of laughter. We're starting the episode on a high note so that we have like a better fall down when we fall flat on our faces, or at least I fall flat on my face. I only remember when Leon slapped Butler on the cheek silly after he said something about small bumps.
ご苦労様です。休んで結構ですので、外してもらえますか。
カノンです。かしこまりました。
Canon bowed deeply, then disappeared.
下々の名前まではいちいち覚えていないってか。
当家には若い使用人が大勢出入りしており、 入れ替わりも頻繁ですので。さて、何をどう理解させてくれるのですか？
Yeah, that's probably it, Moth-chan.
あなた様は何者で、当家にどのようなご用がおありで？もちろん納得させてくれなくて構いません。このままお帰りいただければいいだけですので。
もう帰れねえのさ。俺も誰もな。
もういい加減にしてくれませんか？そのよくわからない煙に巻くような喋り方は。
Yeah, okay.
私にだって我慢の限界というものがあります。
Remember when Todd Howard came on stage and announced 16 times the line? I have no idea what any of that means. Without Leon, it cannot be seen. Ay, ay, ay.
私では見送りにならないというなら、源氏と郷田にお送りさせてもいいのですよ。
Well, okay, there are the names of Genji and Goda, at least he knows that one. There's even a lion statue in the background, yes. Leon is my ass, alright.
騒ぐな。こいつを見てろ。
見ればわかります。葬儀用のバラです。まさか手品でも見せてくれるおつもりで？
Will took one of the flower offerings, then showed it to Leon, as if to demonstrate that there were no mechanisms or tricks. Then he slowly lifted it upwards.
見てろ。
ええ、見てますよ。鳩でも飛び出すんですか？それともクラッカーと万国旗にでも？
Will threw the rose. Anyone would have expected it to fly in an arc and land in some puddle amid the wind and rain. The betrayal of that expectation struck Leon dumb. Initially, the rose Will had thrown had certainly flown in an arc. It swished rapidly through the air. However, as soon as it was about to pass from the shade of the eaves into the rain, it stopped right in midair, as though the air surrounding it had turned into syrup. Interesting comparison. Syrup. I see. People like Leon. Alright. When Leon went to space, they weren't born. Okay. Will and Leon's dynamic is my favorite in the novel. Battle Beto and Angel Federine Maria coming close. Okay. Okay. Alright. He's amazing. Okay. Great. Let's see. That wasn't all. As it hung in midair, the rose's beautiful golden petals began to darken one after another. And it became a black husk like burnt charcoal. And even after this happened, it remained suspended there in the air.
これは何の手品ですか？
No, Brad.
動くな。
Leon had moved closer to try and touch the remains of the rose, which still hung in the air. Will had roughly blocked the way with his arm. It was as though he was telling Leon that leaving this place meant certain death.
この礼拝堂がかけらから切り離されたんだ。この礼拝堂は今、濃縮された時間の渦に閉じ込められている。
それはどういうことですか？
めんどくせえからはしょる。つまり、さっきの魔女のゲームに付き合わねえ限り、誰もここから出られね
え。なんですって？もう葬儀は終わっています。お屋敷やゲストハウスに戻りたい方々もいらっしゃるでしょう。こんなことは困ります。
恨むならあの魔女を恨め。俺も帰れなくていい迷惑だ。
あの少女はあなたの友人でしょ。この変なのをやめさせてください。
あいつは今頃ポップコーンのバケツでも抱いて観客席だろうよ。 呼んだって現れね
わけがわからない。
That short sentence described all of Leon's feelings at that moment. However, Leon had seen the rose will wither in an instant in the rainy darkness. Leon tried doing the same thing with another rose, but the effect was exactly the same. No one would want to use their own body to test this fearsome something that could make roses crumble instantly.
ここから解放される方法はただ一つ。ベルンカステルのゲームに付き合うことだけだ。
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かでしたか？
そいつを調べろと仰せだ。
I guess he did, yeah. Iris-chan. Ay. She didn't investigate.
お前がそれを聞かせてくれりゃ話は早い。気まぐれ魔女は大満足。
I guess. The main building of the university I went to also has two very famous lions at the entrance.
お前は厄介払いができて、俺は帰ってダイアナとデートだ。あまり待たせすぎると、またソファーをズタボロにしちまうわ。
Tearing up. Is Diana a cat?
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かなんて葬儀に押しかけて遺族に聞くこととは思えませんね。
A lion.
遺族に聞き込みはミステリーの基本だ。諦めろ。ベアトリーチェってのは当主金蔵の愛人だってのは分かってる。
あなたは本当に不思議な人だ。
Oh, please don't do that to me.
どうしてそこまで当家のことをご存知なのですか？やはり当家に縁のある方なのでは。
Will knew so much about the Ushiromiya family because Burncastle had shown him all of the fragments so far. Of course, he had no sort of connection with the Ushiromiya family himself. The very plane of his existence was on a different level.
しかし、ベアトリーチェはだいぶ昔に死んでいる。現時の証言では、屋敷の竣工前に死んでるってことになってるが、死んだ理由は明らかじゃねえ。正直なところ、殺されたってのは初耳だ。聞かせてくれ。
私の名は後宮リオンと申します。
ウィラートだ。ウィルでいい。
For the first time, Will introduced himself. The mutual introduction was finally completed, and Leon was finally able to talk with him on an even footing. However, Leon took a deep breath and looked up at the sky, wearing a vague smile.
ウィルさん。
ウィルでいい。俺もリオンと呼ぶ。
ウィル、正直なところ、私にもベアトリーチェという人物のことがよくわからないのです。
なるほど。一応ゲームにはなるわけか。
If only Leon could have told him everything, revealing the truth without any effort from Will. Apparently things wouldn't be so easy after all. Reading profiles. Okay. We have him on human side. And yeah, okay, he's on the witch side. Alright. Ushiromiya Leon, the first child of Kraus and Natsuhi. Right. Jessica is their second child. Was given the silver ring of the head's successor and will succeed the position of family head upon turning 20. Mild, polite, and without any clear faults. Except for being too young, this youth is more suitable to become the next head than any other and is adored by Kinzo. Okay. And Willard H. Wright, a member of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. Inquisitor, ranked Archbishop, 1st class. Goes by the name Rite of the 20 Wedges, or Wizard Hunting Rite. Does he have a scarf wrapped around his waist and then a belt on top of the scarf? How does that work? How does that work? Anyway, he was an ace inquisitor in his youth and was feared for being both ruthless and merciless in his work. Well, the piece we saw earlier didn't really feel like he was merciless, but okay. However, at some point, there was a change in his work attitude, and his previously flashy escapades became a thing of the past. His current style... Okay, so he changed. Got it. His current style is often fickle, alternating between laziness and obsessive bursts of energy regarding mere trifles. By now, everyone has given up trying to understand him. He has already submitted his resignation and had it accepted. Only a few days remain before he will lose the name of Wright. Okay. I don't know. There's no... Whenever you ask me things like, oh, did you notice? Did you... I'm like, oh god, what should I have noticed? Suddenly I'm not noticing anything and I'm blanking out, so I don't know what you mean. Kinzo liking someone, that's BS. Poof. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to right click. So here we still have, like, we have Bern and Maria Beatrice, and then Vigilia, Ronoe, and Gap, and then the Seven Stakes. So far, no signs of Delanor or the others, right? Bern's profile is updated. The Witch of Miracles and Miko to the Witch of Theater going. In the 7th game, she conducts Beato's funeral. Met with defeat in the previous game and came out the loser. She has proclaimed that she will tear out the guts of Beato's game to satisfy her irritation. And yet... Alright. 3 red burns. I feel like this is... I don't know, have we read this before? A little mage who has inherited the black blood from Kinzo. Unlike Kinzo, she was gifted with natural talent and began to tread the path of the mage while still young. That said, her power is still weak and she is no more than an apprentice. However, she is skilled with enchantments which bestow magical power upon objects, and the magical items she creates compete with those of the Meister. Okay, this part now sounds a bit more familiar. Maybe we read it before. Okay. Alright. Yeah, right, so it was just a memory thing. It felt like something about this part here didn't ring a bell. But then the last part rang a bell, so okay, yeah, probably we did read it. She's cute though. It's okay, look at that smile. So cute. Okay. Apparently things wouldn't be so easy after all.
ベアトリーチェの名と姿を後宮家に出入りするもので知らぬものはないでしょう。
大広間にでかい肖像画が飾ってあるからな。肖像画の掲示は1984年の4月だ。
That's very recent.
本当にあなたはどうしてそんなことまで。やれやれ。それを疑問に思うのももうやめることにします。どうせあなたにまた煙に巻かれるんですからね。
Leon was the successor to the head and lived with the main family. Kinzo frequently chose to speak with his successor. Because of this, Leon must have been used to chatting with people who were moody or hard to follow. Deciding once and for all that getting hung up on trivialities would be nothing but a waste of time, Leon was able to converse naturally with this unknown man called Will, as though the two of them had been friends for a long time.
誰もがベアトリーチェを知っている。なのに誰も知らねえ。会ったことがあるのは当主金蔵だけだ。
当主様は今日は特にお心が不安定でいらっしゃいます。タイミングを見て私が紹介しますので、なるべく慎んだ態度でお願いしますよ。
話が早えな。てっきりもっと非協力的かと思ってたぜ。
長年当主様のお相手をしていると、大抵の理不尽な事態とはある種の諦めを持って接することができるようになりますので。
Requiem had set up a barrier cutting the chapel off from the rest of the world. To destroy that, they would have to find out who killed Beatrice. For Leon, who had been made to go along with Kinzo on many an occasion, understanding this much was all that was necessary. Okay. Rosa's confession, okay. So many new backgrounds. Oh, the 4th of October, okay. The Ushiromiya family members were relaxing here and there around the waiting room. A light buffet-style meal had been set up, but it looked a bit stale and not particularly appetizing. Good, please don't make me hungry. Even so, those voracious kids seemed to find it intensely appealing. The cousins had set up camp around it, with Maria at the center. The adult siblings had also formed a group in a different corner. Perhaps because of Kinzo's absence, everyone seemed to be a little more relaxed.
リオン、どこへ行っていたのですか？そちらの方は。
母さん、お客様のお相手をしていました。ウィル、こちらは母の夏日です。
紹介はいらねえ。ただ話を聞かせてくれりゃいい。
え、何かおっしゃいまして？
いいえ、何も。こちらはウィルさん。個人に縁ある方だそうです。
With a smile, Leon casually smoothed over Will's words.
彼はベアトリーチェのことをより詳しく知りたがっています。母さんはベアトリーチェについては何かご存知ですか？
リオン、個人は当主様のかつての恩人です。そしてそれ以上でもそれ以下の関係でもありません。この葬儀は当主様が個人への生前の恩を報いるためのお式、そう聞いていますし、それ以外のことは何もありません。
ありがとう、母さん。ウィル、母が知っていることはこれだけです。
Natsuhi was very resistant to the scandalous rumors that Kinzo, a man she greatly respected, had once had a concubine called Beatrice. However, she also understood that the scandal was probably the truth. Oh my god. You said those things didn't look appetizing. You lied. You lied. Don't make me hungry. Picking up that Natsuhi was in a bad mood and didn't want to talk about this anymore. Leon brought an end to that conversation before Will could say something rude again.
ビル、この礼拝堂は当家の敷地内です。
Yeah, they're killing us with food there every time.
当家のルールに従えってか。
当家の客人にふさわしい口調に改めていただく。話はすべて私を返していただく。その2つを守っていただけるようお願いいたします。
You'll conduct all of your conversations through me? What?
努力すら。
ベルーンカステルとかいう魔女に巻き込まれて大いに迷惑です。ですから私も協力はします。しかしあなたと私の立場は対等ですので、それをお忘れになりませんよ。
育ちがいいだけのお坊ちゃんだと思ってたら、なかなか言うな。
これでも後ろ宮家の未来を背負う覚悟はありますので。
わかった。仲良く事件を解決しようぜ、ワトソン君。
Yeah, but maybe it's just me. That sounded like you only have to tell things to me, and then I will translate it to the others. You are not to address the others directly, or something along those lines. You'll conduct all your conversation through me.
これでも
Oh, sorry.
ご協力いただけて嬉しいです。愛病のダイアナを待たせないためにも。
It's a cat, okay.
餌の時間は大丈夫ですか？
今日は山盛りにしてある。多少は大丈夫だ。よくダイアナが猫のことだと分かったな。
ソファーを引っかえて待ちわびる女性というのも少々個性的が過ぎると思いましたので。
Eccentric. That's an interesting choice of word.
それでまずは誰に話を？
誰でもいい。全員だ。あそこにいるのはクラウスの兄弟たちか。
向かって右からエヴァおばさん、秀吉おじさん。あちらがルドルフおじさん、キリエおばさん。そしてあちらが
後ろ宮ローザか。少女時代に森をさまよい、隠し館でベアトリーチェと名乗る女に遭遇した経験を持つ。
驚くまいとは思っていますが、本当にあなたは何でも知っている。
お前もその話は知っているのか？
今日彼女がそう話しているのを漏れ聞きました。辛そうな話でしたので聞こえないふりをしましたが。
優等生だな。紹介してくれ。話を聞きたい。
辛そうな話でしたので聞こえないふりをした優等生の私に？
Even this outrageous arrogance is nothing compared to Kinzo. After muttering this several times mentally, Leon shrugged and nodded at will.
あら、次期当主様じゃない。そちらの方は？
ああ、エヴァおばさん。こちらはウィルさん。個人のために献花に訪れてくれました。
んなことはどうでもいい。ベアトリーチェについて知って。
個人と後ろ宮家の関わりについてお話を聞きたいと言っています。
Yep, that's exactly what I imagined. Like, don't speak. I will translate. Leon spoke with a bright smile while pinching Will's butt. Okay, that's very forward. You call that leading the conversation? Will silently protested, as though saying, even for a gag, that hurts. But Leon just played dumb and smiled at Eva like a model student.
後ろ宮家との関わりって言ってもね。
後ろ宮家とちゅうよりお父さんとの関わりっちゅうべきやろな。
正直に言えばいいのさ。親父の愛人ってな。
You know, the more this gets repeated and somehow my brain makes a very weird connection with the with Erika's theory that Natsuhi was having an affair with Kinzo. It like the more it starts to make me think that like this is just, it could potentially be just a story that people clung to because it's a little scandalous, you know, a little spicy, a little steamy. Ooh, she was his mistress. And the more they say it, the less I don't know, I absorb it. It just, I don't know.
愛人なんて言うとまた夏日姉さんに怒られるわよ。
Yeah.
恩人でしょ。
そうやな。
こんな具合ですが。
ローザ以外には興味ね。
There it is again.
ローザおばさんは確かベアトリーチェに会ったことがあると。
This whole time, Rosa had been hanging her head. Leon's words made her shoulders quiver.
今日になって急に言い出したのよ。ちょっと信じがたい話だわ。
本当なのよ。ベアトリーチェは私が殺したの。
事件解決だな。
Really got the cake. Oh God's sake. The word they use here for indebted is a common thing in Japanese. When you're referring to a situation where everyone knows that the person is having an affair, but it would be bad to outright call it that. I see. I had no idea about that extra meaning of the word indebted. The euphemism, I guess. Rosa broke down crying and laid her head on the table. Kiri and Hideyoshi tried to console her.
六軒島はうっそうとした森に包まれてる。私たちが知っているのはそのうちのごくわずか。屋敷とバラ庭園、そして船着き場に向かうちょっとした林道だけ。
誰も知らない広大な森のどこかに親父が隠れ屋敷を作って愛人を住まわせてるんじゃないかって話は相当の昔からあったんだ。
ローザさんは多分その隠れ屋敷に偶然たどり着いてしまったちゅう。
しかしどうしてローザおばさんはベアトリーチェを殺したなどと。
私が連れ出さなければ彼女は死なずに済んだわ。彼女は無垢なひよこのような人だったわ。
Interesting comparison.
私が連れ出したから素直についてきた。何も疑わずに私の後をぴったりついてきて、私があんな足場の悪いところを歩かせてしまったから。
お前は崖から足を踏み外すことを期待してそこを歩かせたのか。
そんなつもりはなかった。ただ海が見たいと思って。歩きづらそうだったから下に降りれば少しは楽になるかなと思って。
それは殺したとは言わねえ。事故だ。
私が連れ出さなければ会わなかった事故よ。私のせいなの。それに私は血まみれの彼女を見捨てて逃げ帰ってしまった。
あんたのせいじゃねえ。ベアトリーチェは海を一度も見たことがなかった。それをあんたが初めて見せたんだ。つい浮かれて一歩踏み外しちまったんだろう。
どうしてあなたはそれを。
ベアトリーチェはあんたに感謝こそすれ恨んでるわけもね
え。そうかしら。本当にそう。
柵の外の世界へ出たいと懇願したのは彼女だろう。お前はその夢を束の間だけ叶えたんだ。俺がベアトリーチェならその束の間の時間をお前に感謝するだろうよ。なのにお前がいつまでも苦しんでると知ったら申し訳なく思うだろう。ベアトリーチェはお前に感謝してる。海が青いってことを教えてくれたあんたをな。
それは本当に。
俺が保証する。
Will made that statement openly and boldly. No one could tell how Rosa took those words. However, they had apparently been enough to remind her to take a handkerchief out of her pocket and wipe her eyes.
ありがとう。
その言葉はベアトリーチェが今もあんたにささやいてる。
ありがとう。
Will and Leon have some quite strong introductions. It's really how fast I got endeared to these two, considering how long I've known the rest of the cast. I mean, at this point, this late, they kind of have to. Otherwise, yeah. There's no way we would form such a deep connection with them, right? So... And also not necessarily about forming the connection, but there isn't really that much time and space to just allow for slow build-up of these characters, right? So if they are to stand out, they need to come in strong. The way Will as a character immediately goes for the core of these people was really cathartic for me. I'm still a little bit reserved. I just met him, okay? But yeah. Sorry, did I skip that? Oh no, it was just Rosa saying thank you. Rosa wiped her eyes with the handkerchief one more time and hung her head. It no longer looked like a fit of sobbing, but more as though she was speaking with the Beatrice of that day within her heart. One last time.
よくもそんな無責任な言葉を堂々とかけられるものです。
責任がなけりゃ女を慰めることもできねえのか。
多少は見直しました。
For how many years had this tormented Rosa? Now, for the first time, Rosa would probably be able to face that innocently smiling Beatrice, who had seen the ocean for the first time in her life. She was the only one who could forgive Rosa. Now the two of them could finally speak together.
どなたか存じないけれど、ありがとう。彼女は私を許してくれるかしら。
Yeah, I think this is the one part that kind of takes me a little out of it, or maybe I'm not yet fully into it, is that, okay, we know he knows everything about these people, but then to suddenly go to a person who is in a state like Rosa is, and immediately know what to say, isn't that a little bit sketchy? Isn't that there's like a layer of awkwardness there that, like, and Rosa immediately accepts it. Like, I don't know if I were in a vulnerable moment and a stranger just suddenly came by and started spewing philosophy about, I don't know, the story of my life or the thing that has me in pain, that could be something quite, I don't know, I guess, personal and that runs very deeply. To have, like, it's the contrast between that and then, like, just a complete stranger just philosophizing and, like, calming you down about struggles that you've contended with for such a long time. And I don't know. Yeah. Isn't he the detective here? Yes, but we know that on a meta level as readers. You know. And to say this interaction with Rosa is very cool from the perspective of, like, he sees the core of the person and he knows just the right things to say. I guess the only way that I can contend with it is just to forcibly see it that, like, this is just all a game, right? It's a game board, these are pieces, they're interacting. He's doing this coming from this meta fourth wall breaking level, while Rosa is here sobbing over this just to, I don't know, also bring back that plot point and make us think about some things, I suppose. Yeah. He was provided a role by Burn Castle as a game master, and she has some control over how characters can react to things as long as it's not too out of character for them. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I'm just saying, I'm feeling this sudden familiarity kind of thing that like I just need a little bit more time to get settled in with the character, I suppose. So it's probably just a me thing. He's basically interacting with NPCs and is completing Rosa's side quest, pretty much.
あんたは20年近くもそれを悩んだ。
Will is just too cool for the real world, I guess.
長すぎだ。彼女はもう勘弁しろと言ってだ。
そうですよ、ローザおばさん。あなたが悲しめば悲しむほど、きっとベアドリーチェも悲しむでしょう。
あなたまでありがとう。私には私が許されるかどうかわからないけれど、彼女が許してくれるかどうか胸の中で問いかけてみることにするわ。二人ともありがとう。恥ずかしいところを見せてごめんなさい。
綺麗事を言った舌の根も乾かねえうちで恐縮だが、聞かせてほしい。当時のことを。
ウィルさん、
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。話すわ。
Okay.
誰にも話さずにずっと隠してきたことが私の一番の罪なのかもしれないから。
お前がベアトリーチェに出会ったのは正確にはいつ頃なのか。
Upon hearing this question, Rosa closed her eyes lightly, reaching back to a past she didn't want to remember.
20年ほど昔の話よ。いえ。
Yeah, we know it's been 19. Okay, we got it. We got the point.
18年前かもしれない。ごめんなさい。長いこと無理に忘れようとしてきたものだから、そこは少し忘れかけてるわ。
1967年のことのはずだ。
Ronoe had guaranteed that with the red truth in the third game.
そうね。多分1967年頃だわ。あの時の出来事は写真のように鮮明に覚えてる。忘れられないの。
辛かったら無理に話す必要はありませんので。
写真のように鮮明に頼む。痛えぞリオン。
何のことやら。
家庭教師が私の内緒話を母に告げ口していたのにショックを受けて。
Ah, so this is what she was upset about. Because I think she didn't go into detail about it last time. But
あの日、私は自暴自棄になって森の奥へ奥へどこまでもかけていったの。
This tale had also been told in the previous fragment. Back when Rosa was just a kid, she had gone deep into the forest, found a hidden mansion, and met with a mysterious woman who called herself Beatrice. Occupational hazards of being a hunk of a detective.
ほんの少し分け入ることすら難しいあの深い森を。
自分でも驚くわ。あんなうっそうとした森をよくもあんなに深くまで。たくさんの梢や鋭い葉っぱで苛まれたわ。でもあの日の私は気にしなかった。森の奥へ消えることで永遠に消えてしまいたかったし、もし本当に森の奥に魔女の館があったなら、自分を幸せの国へ連れて行ってくれるか、カエルにでも変えて森の住人に変えてくれると思っていたから。
そしてあんたは隠し屋敷クアドリアンにたどり着き、そこでベアトリーチェと名乗る女と出会う。
ええ、あったわ。
そのベアトリーチェは肖像画のベアトリーチェと同一人物だったか。
ええ。
Well, that only means that the appearance is the same. Doesn't mean it was the same person.
同一人物だったわ。美しい青い瞳、黄金の髪、黒いドレス。まさにあの肖像画通りの人物だった。私はあの肖像画をお父様が掲げた時、私が忘れようとあがいた20年の月日は お父様にとっても同じ、あるいはそれ以上の日々であったと気づき、さらなる罪に怯えたわ。
それ本当にローザさんの出会ったベアトリーチェのことなのかしら。
Thank you, Kiria. Immediately, Kiria spoke the question that Will had been thinking of. Okay, we're all on the same wavelength here. It would be too rash to assume that the Beatrice Kinzo met was the same person as the one Rosa met. The time and generation were different for each.
ベアトリーチェってのは戦後すぐの頃、親父に黄金を貸し付けた勇敢マダムのはずだぜ。
お父さんはベアトリーチェの黄金を元手に後宮家を復興して大金持ちになり、そして六軒島を買い取り移住するんや。
Or better said, into the woods. Yeah, we are.
ローザさんが出会ったのはそれから10年以上も先の話になるで。
10 years after. Okay.
10トンの黄金を自在にできるご婦人が小娘程度のわけはない。
It sounds like a fantastical person. Like, who would have it? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know enough history to have an immediate picture in my mind of the economical situation of Japan. But that sounds like such a... I have a mountain of gold and I'm gonna lend it to you. Why? You would have it much. Yeah.
ましてやローザが会った頃にはそれからさらに10年以上が経過してる。
I'm just... Some things are just not connecting in my head. 10 years. She's insisting on these 10 years. I guess maybe it's also an assumption that I'd made that if the story is that Kinzo got his gold from Beatrice or whatever, and then he went on to make his fortune and buy the island and so on. Was he married and had Rosa? And Rosa is the youngest, right? So then he would have had all of his kids and been married. And so that means the moment he got the gold wasn't before he... For some reason I thought he established his family after the whole coming into a fortune thing happened. Because then, like, 10 years doesn't fit. Like, Rosa was a teenager as far as I remember when she supposedly met Beatrice. Oh my god. Okay. I'll think about it on my own time. This is a bit too confusing. Okay, sure, fine. I'll do my best. I don't know, Red Needle. They're saying 10 years. Alright. So that was 57 then. Kinzo is old, I know. Right. Like, I don't know why I had this impression that, like... That the moment when he was appointed head of the family, and the moment where mysteriously he came into the gold or whatever and started like doing well for himself, that they were quite closely connected. But somehow I imagined that the family was downstream of that, not upstream of that. But anyway, fine, whatever, sure, it can be that way.
Rosa, あんたの会ったベアトリーチェは
いくつくらいに見えたのよ。
Okay, sure.
当時の私よりは年上に見えたけれど、それでも多分成人したかどうかという年に見えたわ。そう、まさに肖像画のベアトリーチェくらいの年齢よ。
中年あるいは壮年に見えたか？
大人か子供かって言われたら明らかに子供に近い年齢だったわ。中年なんてとんでもない。
だからそれじゃおかしいのよ。
Yeah, that makes no sense.
あんたの会ったベアトリーチェとお父様に黄金を与えたベアトリーチェ、年齢が合わないのよ。
つまり別人ということだ。
よく似た同じ名前の別人。
娘かもしれんな。親子ならよく似とったに違いない。
So not only was the original Beatrice Kinzo's mistress, he had like a second family with her.
愛人の娘。ありえるわ。黄金を授けたベアトリーチェとの間にお父さんは隠し子を設けたとか。
それがローザの出会ったベアトリーチェ2世ってわけか。年齢的辻褄は合うな。
なるほど。つまりベアトリーチェと呼ばれる人物は2人いるわけですね。
Kinzo secretly raised his mistress's child in a hidden mansion. That would make logical sense. Everyone nodded, agreeing. However, Will's expression was slightly unsatisfied, and he scratched at his head.
どうやらこの葬儀は隠したがゆえに弔うことができなかった2人のベアトリーチェのためのようですね。
Are we all hearing this? Isn't this a little bit crazy? Well, okay, yeah, okay. It's a game board, sure.
ローザ、
Ugh.
思い出したくねえだろうが、事故の時の話を頼む。ベアトリーチェが転落した時、まだ息はあったのか？
いいえ、目を大きく見開いていた。頭から真っ逆さまに落ちて、岩浜の岩の鋭い角に頭をぶつけて。それもあの高さから。頭部は陥没して裂けてたわ。
Okay.
美
Thanks for
し
the
い
image.
黄金の髪がみるみるうちに赤黒く溢れるうちに染められて。
一目見て死んだと確信できる外傷だったのか？
ええ、割れた頭の中身を見たわ。それも握り拳大に陥没して。
Oh my god, even more image. Thank you.
あれを
Thank
見
you.
て生きててほしいなんて、いくらなんでも虫が良すぎるわ。
I understand.
ウィル、それ以上聞く必要はありますか？
事故じゃもういい。それからあんたはどうした？
一目散に駆け出したわ。誰かを呼びに行くためなんて綺麗事でさえない。その場から一刻も早く逃げ出したかったの。錯乱状態になりながら、涙と荒い息でめちゃくちゃになりながら、そしたらいつの間にか見知ったライオンの彫像に出くわしたわ。
ああ、礼拝堂の前の？
いいえ、裏のよ。とにかく私は屋敷に帰り着いた。誰にも話せない。話したくない。私は夜まで黙っていたわ。ひどい話よ。急いで誰かに話し、救急箱を持って戻っていたら彼女を助けられたかもしれないのに。
頭蓋骨陥没を救急箱の何で救えたってんだ。お前が殺したわけじゃない。もう気にするな。
それでローザおばさんはどうしたんですか？
No room for doubt in my Umineko. Doubt everything.
ベッドで何度も寝返りを打ったわ。眠れなかった。 深夜にこっそり源氏さんに電話して打ち明けたわ。
源氏は何と言った？
Oh, interesting. These are new details.
自分に全て任せ、誰にもこのことは言わないようにと。後日きっとお父様に呼び出されてひどく叱られるだろうと。でもそれはなかった。源氏さんはいつものようにしずしずと仕事をする日々。お父様は相変わらずの書斎ごもりで何もわからない。
少なくとも私たちの耳には入らなかったわ。
源氏さんがうまく処理してくれたんだろうな。
表沙汰にできない子だったでしょうからね。
隠し子っちゅうたって血を分けた子供や。その葬式もまともにあげられんかったんなら、そらお父さんも心苦しかったやろな。
それがこの葬儀というわけですね。
それから？
私が知っている話はこれで全てよ。
うん。俺が知っている話もそれで全てだ。
これ以上私は何も隠していない。全て話した。誓うわ。
Will scratched at his head, letting his gaze wander. It had taken Rosa a lot of determination to make this confession, but it was nothing particularly special for Will. It had been little more than a review of information he already knew.
ありがとう、ローザおばさん。十分ですか、ウィル。これで話は。
十分だ。おさらいになった。
To Will, Rosa's memories gave only information that was already known. This was the first time he'd heard all that about her running back to the mansion after Beatrice felt her death. But none of it was particularly surprising. Apparently Rosa really didn't know any more than this. If he wanted to learn something beyond the fragments given to him by Burncastle, he would need to find new testimony.
リオン、金蔵に俺が話を聞きたがってると伝えろ。
We're talking to Kinzo, okay.
やはり本人に聞かなきゃ話は進まねえ。
あなたはどちらへ？
頭を冷やして整理する。ついてくんな。
それは失礼。どうぞごゆっくり。
After giving an elegant bow, Lion made a face, tongue sticking out. Unless Will had eyes on the back of his head, he couldn't have seen this last bit. Will returned to the chapel by himself. The cold air and the monotonous sound of the rain were comforting.
どう？ゲームは。
And he had come here for a little peace and quiet. Nah. No sooner had he let out a sigh of relief that voice rang out.
それは俺が聞くことだ。
It was as though she had been sitting there all along. Burncastle appeared on top of the altar once more. Apparently she found this particular altar extremely comfortable.
バトラは無能で、私を何度もイラつかせたわ。それに比べ、あなたは有能だから、見ていて安心できるわ。
I have an issue. No, it's not that I don't understand what the meaning of the word is in a particular context. It's just I don't know. When I try to say it out loud, it just comes out the opposite. Why? Why, brain? Anyway.
後ろ宮バトラの時と違い、誰の妨害もねえ。気
I'm
楽
so
な
sorry.
もんさ。
もうそういうゲームは終わったの。物語は二度楽しめるわ。一度目はめでて、二度目は腹を引き裂いてね。
Sure, Burn. Sure.
ち、俺を肉屋だと思ってやがる。
う？ベアトリーチェ殺しの犯人は分かりそう？
ローザの告白は過去のかけらですでに知ってる。真新しい情報はない。進展はゼロだ。後宮金蔵が本当のことを喋らねえ限り、これ以上の展開はねえ。まさか俺が金蔵を口説き落として真相を告白させるってのも。
But Rosa also said that Genji was involved, so why wouldn't he be a contender for giving more information?
ゲームに含まれてるとは言い出さねえだろうな。
そんなの退屈で死んでしまうわ。真実を語らぬ金蔵はそれ自体が城に守られたキングだけれど、あなたのゲームの障壁になってしまっては面白くない。
拷問はやらねえ。俺の流儀だ。
分かってる。ゲームマスターとしてあんたに力を与えるわ。金蔵から真実を得られるようにね。
Still wearing shoes, Brancasso stepped into the casket, picked up one of the flowers that had been set as offerings, and blew hard as though scattering fluff from a dandelion. When she did, a single petal broke off and drifted down towards Will, no longer gold, but with the shine of a transparent crystal.
探偵権限か。
なにその間抜けな能力。違うわ。それは観覧席への招待状よ。
感激者権限か。それを元老院の許可なく与えることは禁じられてるはず。
私のゲーム版で誰が禁止すると？
Though the crystal flower petal danced in the wind, it wouldn't fly away anywhere until Will accepted it. Will remembered how useless it was to argue with witches, and he snatched it up. When he did, the petal flashed brightly for an instant, melted into Will's palm, and disappeared.
せいぜい私を楽しませなさい。ついでにあなたも楽しむといい。このベアトリーチェのゲーム版の腹渡がどうなってるか。あんたも興味があるでしょ？
Oh, something happened? Please tell me no. I see it fine. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you. Thank you for confirming.
ねえよ。
After Will's rude answer, Requiem vanished into thin air, leaving behind an obnoxious laugh. After clicking his tongue, Will turned around, visibly annoyed. When he did, it felt as though his gaze crossed that of a shadowy figure standing by the door in front of him that led outside.
誰だ？
失礼しました。声が聞こえたので、どちら様かと思いまして。
シャノンか。今度はお前が受付をしているのか？
はい。カノン君と交代で受付を担当させていただいております。
No reactions as to how he knows her name?
おう。カノンは？
Or maybe this is not the first time they meet.
先ほど、リオン様に休みを取るようご命令を賜りましたので、今は休んでおります。
She has difficulty saying Leon-sama. Okay.
お前もリオンに面識がないのか？
いえ、そんな。
後宮リオンは銀の指輪を許された次期当主だ。10年を務めたお前が名前を言いよどむのはおかしい。
それは。
安心しな。リオンに面識がねえのは俺もだ。次期当主はクラウスのはず。子供もジェシカだけのはずだ。 リオンなんてやつが後宮家にいたかけらなんて一つもなかったはず。
Upon hearing that Will didn't recognize Leon either, Shannon looked back up at him in surprise. Apparently, she was a bit relieved to find that she wasn't going crazy by herself. However, her expression quickly grew uncertain once more.
ここはどこなんでしょう。後宮家の礼拝堂と思います。でもどことなく雰囲気が違います。それに
Leon erasure.
リオン様という方がおられたなんて私全然知りませんでした。なのに旦那様も奥様も親方様もお嬢様も親類の皆様も当たり前のようにお話をされています。何が何だか私わからなくて。
リオンはベルンカステルが置いた駒だ。奴を置くためにさらに大きな猫箱に変えたとも言っていた。それだけでなく、どうもここはいくつかのかけらが継ぎはぎして作られた。
It's as though this is a special stage set up specifically for this game. I'm sure she's nodding at my thoughts right now, laughing and chomping down popcorn.
この世界のお前は何年ここに
10年です。
I see. So it really is a special stage. After all, right when I entered the chapel, I spotted Kinzo. If Shannon had worked here for 10 years, then this is 1986, the stage of Beato's game. He dead. That's what he's getting at. In that case, Kinzo shouldn't exist. However, he definitely was here a few minutes ago. Aw, glad that you figured it out, Moschen. Berncastle promised that all of the information needed for reasoning was gathered here. She must have crammed all manner of stuff in here to make that true. I see, so it really is a special stage.
お前はそれだけの長い間、後宮家に仕えてた。なら、ベアトリーチェのことをどれだけ知っている？
親方様が深く愛された方くらいにしか。
それだけか？
あとその六軒島の夜の主と言われていて。
そうだ。夜な夜な屋敷を徘徊するとささやかれ、亡霊の名もまたベアトリーチェだ。
That brings the number of Beatrices to 3. The first is the Beatrice from more than 30 years ago, who is said to have given Kinzo the gold. The second is the Beatrice from 20 years ago, who met Rosa. The third is the Beatrice of the ghost stories, who is rumored to be the master of the night on Rokkenjima.
Fuldo Erikaの推理は正しいだろう。もともと六軒島に存在した悪霊の伝説。そこに金蔵のオカルト趣味と謎の女、ベアトリーチェの名前や肖像が、碑文が次第に加味されていき、黄金の魔女伝説に統合された。そして夜の闇が魔女という人格を得た。それが3人目のベアトリーチェだ。それが連続殺人犯のベールとなる。
Apparently she didn't understand the word of Will's sudden monologue. Shannon tried to follow along, but she seemed to be having difficulty.
無理に理解するな。頭痛になら。
申し訳ございません。
カノンもリオンのことを知らないのか？
Sir, this is Wendy's. Yes, pretty much, that's the one.
はい。カノン君も私と同じでした。
What does that mean? Shannon and Kanon, huh?
カノンも呼んで、二人に話が聞きたい。
When Will said these words, Shannon's face went blank and her eyes went wide.
申し訳ございません。受付を開けることは許されておりませんので、私には呼びに行くことができません。
なら誰か代わりを呼んできて受付を変わらせる。あんたとカノンと俺、リオンを知らない3人で一緒に話がしたい。
Yeah, yeah. I hear the wind.
受付は一人でいいと仰せつかっております。
2人いちゃいけねえとは言われてねえはずだ。
本日は人手が足りませんので、受付に2人も不要と仰せです。
誰がそう命じた？金蔵か？クラウスか？それともリオンか？確認する。
私の命令権者です。
Am I the only one who finds it so creepy when suddenly characters don't have like the little glimmer of lights in their eyes? Oh god. Oh god. The hole in my stomach.
私は命令に逆らえません。
その命令権者は誰だ？そいつに交渉する。
I know there's nothing there.
交渉などできません。私たちの命令権者です。
The one who orders us. What? What? What are the random capitalized letters? What the heck?
ここへカノンを呼べ。俺は拷問も感激も綺麗だ。
Slowly, Will pulled his right hand out of his pocket. When he slowly opened his fist, a small bright glow emanated from it. The flower petal Berncastle had given him had become a glowing birthmark, which sparkled. He held that hand out towards Shannon, and slowly approached her.
カノンを呼べ。お前たちに確かめたいことがある。
お呼びできません。それでもなお、それをご希望ですか？
呼ばねえなら、お前を感激する。
Watch your play? What does that mean?
どうしてもとおっしゃるのでしたら、特別にお呼びすることもできますが。
There was some kind of incomprehensible tension between the two. Will stood there, his left hand still in his pocket and his right palm glowing and stretched out towards her. Shannon just stood there, her hands still folded politely in front of her. Her posture beautiful, and yet it felt oddly as though raindrops were sparking and crackling in midair.
カノン君を呼んでまいりますが、よろしいですか？
This is so creepy, what the fuck? Will's expression had remained unchanged the whole time. Shannon's face was still kind and gentle, and yet the tension was as icy as a frozen lake. Beginners in chess will sometimes move their king into check without noticing. One might mercilessly capture the king in such a situation, but high-level players are supposed to calmly warn beginners about their mistake. If you take one more step, you'll get captured. Will making speedrun of Umineko. This was similar to that. I see. So after all,
もう分かった。十分だ。二人で交代で受付を頼む。
slowly Will lowered his hand.
ご理解いただけまして助かります。
The glow slowly vanished from Will's palm. Was that no? But Burns said that like the detective's authority was boring. So that I don't know. That completely incomprehensible tension melted away like a sugar cube in water. However, nothing had changed since the beginning. Will's expression and Shannon's expression were the same as they had always been.
おや、お帰りですか?
Footsteps approached them. It was Leon.
立ち話をしていただけだ。こいつに聞きたかったことがあったんだな。
それは何でしょう。そしてそれは得られましたか？
ああ。
お役に立てて光栄です。それは残念。傘をお探しのようでしたらすぐにでもご用意させましたのに。
金蔵に話はついたのか？
珍しい客人が挨拶をしたがっていると伝えました。お会いするそうです。
ベアトリーチェのことを聞きたいとは伝えたのか？
それはあなたの仕事でしょ。
With a slightly mischievous look, Leon turned away. I didn't do anything. I'm just taking it all in, okay? I don't and I'm sorry that you're having technical issues, Math-chan. I'm really sorry. Yeah, he is, I guess. What can I say? I just met him tonight, okay? I don't have an opinion formed on him fully just yet. Oh, you're having internet issues. I'm really sorry. It's okay. Pets, all the pets, and yeah, the VOD will be there if you want to check things out. It's okay. Will scratched his head and shrugged, looking annoyed.
まあいいさ。こいつを試すだけの話だ。
Will opened his right hand and showed it to Leon. It was just a hand without anything remotely remarkable about it. Leon's head tilted to the side in bafflement at this strange gesture.
ご苦労様です。君の名前は確か。
Interesting. So, Kanon and Shannon don't remember Leon, and Leon doesn't remember them. But he knew of Genji, so... Yeah.
シャノンです。そうだった。シャノンでしたね。引き続き受付をよろしく頼みます。
I thought Kanon was manning the reception desk.
肩を冷やさないように。
And that they shouldn't have two people there.
ありがとうございます、リオン様。
Didn't he mention he mentioned Genji and was it Goda by name? Anyway, Shannon bowed deeply in response to Leon's kind words. There was not even a trace of tension in her manner.
参りましょう、ビル。せっかく時間をいただけたのです。当主様の機嫌は秋の空より変わりやすいですよ。いってらっしゃいませ。
行くか。
Ah, okay. Glad we clarified that because I don't need extra things to be confused about. Oh, you're suggesting to leave it here. I mean, I guess we could. We're like 10-15 minutes shorter on time, but this is no longer gaslighting and is some weird gaslighting. Who saw Leon? You know, I had enough with all of the mysteries and questions and all of the confusion so far. I didn't need more added on top of it. Thank you. Gal sighting. Ah! Gal sighting. Okay, okay, got it. Got it now. I didn't read it properly, sorry. Don't joke about God, it's a sensitive subject. You can go for a bit longer if you want to, but there will be something pretty big soon. So, you know, I don't know. Is everyone okay if we leave it here tonight? Or should we go for 10-15 more minutes? You pick. You know. Tell me your opinions. Wait for a bit. We can do that. Maybe 10-15 more hours. Oh. You know, it would be quite enjoyable if a world existed where I could just forget about everything else and spend 10-15 hours next to you all reading this. That would be nice. But yeah. Okay, read a bit. Alright. Kinzo and Genji could be seen in the VIP room. How, like, it... all of the environments are completely different. It's so weird. Kinzo was sitting back in a chair, his eyes closed as though in a troubled sleep. He dead! You bet he's in a troubled sleep. Sorry, I'll let that go. We'll embrace the delusion. Okay, let's see.
お客様がお見えになりました。
Kinzo slowly opened his eyes. Those eyes were red from crying. They regained their focus and slowly fell on Will.
私が後宮金蔵である。
ウィル。ウィラードだ。お悔やみ申し上げる。
ベアトリーチェの葬儀に訪ねてくるとは。そなたは何者なのか。
誰でもない。誰とも関係ない。深く考えるな。頭痛になら。
ね。
もう少し言葉遣いにご注意をお願いいたします。
おかしな客人だ。
The fact that the controller vibrates every time Leon does that startled me.
それでこの私に何用か。
ベアトリーチェのことを聞きたい。
何？
Kinzo's gaze grew sharp. Leon felt a bit lightheaded and wondered why this guy had to be so direct.
聞いてどうする？お前は誰でもないのであろうが。ベアトリーチェのことを知ってどうするという。何の意味があるというのか。
俺が誰でもないからこそお前の物語を公正に聞き残すことができる。お前はじきにこの世を去るだろう。その時ベアトリーチェのことを何も語らずに死んだなら、お前の子供たちは彼らが好き勝手に考えた物語でベアトリーチェを就職し記憶に残すだろう。
面白い若造だ。お前は遺言屋を気取ろうというわけか。だがそれは余計なお世話というものよ。ベアトリーチェは私だけのベアトリーチェだ。誰が何を語ろうとも私とあれの物語は誰にも怪我せぬ。何の意味も持たぬ。クラウスたちがどう曲解しようとも痛くも痒くもないわ。
ウィラード様、親方様は遺言を好まれません。生きているうちより何事かを投げ出すお方ではございません。
だろうな。らしからぬこととは思っていた。
誠意ある限りあがいてこそ人間であろうが。 それを早々に諦め遺言に残そうという浅ましさなど少子千万。
確かにその方がお前らしい。死ぬかもしれないから過去語りを記せと言い出すのは確かにお前の柄じゃね
え。あべ。
当主様がベアトリーチェ様のことを深く深く愛しておられたことは存じ上げております。私たちにとって当主様は最大の尊敬の対象であるとともに生きるすべての模範です。どうか迷える私たちのために、いかにしておじい様が彼女を愛し抜いたか、愛ゆえに生き抜いたか、その愛の強さを私たちにお導きくださるようお願いすることはできないでしょうか。
なかなか達者だ。
あなたが言葉を選ばないからです。
若ず、お前はベアトリーチェの何を知っているというのか。真に無知なる者は関心さえ持たぬ。ベアトリーチェの名を知っている時点で無知なる者ではなく縁なき者でもない。
道理だな。俺が知っているベアトリーチェはお前がかつて六軒島に屋敷を設ける以前に出会った。しかしおそらくは死別して娘を残した。それがクワドリアンで育てられていた娘だ。
ほう。
ウィラード様、当六軒島にはクワドリアンなる建物は存在いたしません。
そのクワドリアンという名前、さっきローザおばさんと話した時にも口に、それは一体何なんですか？
察しはついてるはずだ。愛人の娘を囲う六軒島の森の奥深くにある隠し屋敷の名だ。
面白い。クワドリアンの名を知ろうとはな。続けよ。お前に興味が出たぞ。
Ginso shrugged and grinned.
クワドリアンにいたのはベアトリーチェの娘だろう。だが少なくともお前はそうは思っていなかった。
ほう。ならば何だと思っていたというのか。
後ろ宮ローザはクワドリアンにて多少の身の上話を交わしている。その中でベアトリーチェはお前のことを指して金蔵と呼んでいる。これはお前を前にしても同じだ。彼女はお前を父と思っていると言ったにもかかわらず、父とは呼んでいなかった。呼ばなかったのか、呼ぶことは許されなかったのか。それが意味することは一つしかない。
それは何だというのか。
生まれ変わりだ。お前は娘を忘れがたみだとは思わなかった。死んだベアトリーチェが新しい体で蘇ったと信じたんだ。源氏、あんたはかつて夏日たちの前で金蔵とベアトリーチェに子供はいなかったと証言したことがあるな。
記憶にございませんが。
Of course, this game's Genji probably wouldn't remember that. However, near the end of the first game, when the survivors all gathered in Ginzo's study, oh yeah, that feels like a lifetime away, Genji was asked whether Ginzo and Beatrice ever had a child together, and he denied it, saying, I have not heard of anything like that.
聞いたことがないか。ある意味で金蔵の腹心らしい模範的な返答という。
And to be fair, he didn't say it didn't happen. He said, I don't know any of anything like that.
何しろ金蔵にとってその娘は生まれ変わりであって娘ではないんだからな。
ウィル、何の話か分かりませんが、当主様への冒涜は許しません。
冒涜じゃねえ、推理だ。だが心は理解する。ベアトリーチェはお前にとって最愛の女だった。 死んでも色褪せることなく永遠に。だが美しい金髪に青い瞳を持ち、その面影を幼くして持ち合わせていたその娘に。
Of course, of course. I mean, I already had perceived their interactions as parallels to the Kinzo and Beatrice interactions that we had already seen. Because this doesn't... I don't feel like this is fully new information. Maybe there's like a few details injected here and there. Like a bit more. But like the core of it, so far I don't think I've heard something particularly new and groundbreaking.
お前は次第に生まれ変わりではないかと信じるようになったとしても、それはおかしいことじゃね
え。The thing is, hearing this rehashed, which is basically an accumulation of like all of the myths and legends and stories that characters have spoken throughout the novel about what the history would be with Kinzo and Beatrice, why there would be a mansion, how this other younger Beatrice that Rosa found could fit into all of that, and so on. Like, just hearing them rehashed, I just cannot help but think, like, at the very least, significant parts of it could very well be things that they projected onto the almost blank canvas of actual information or facts that they had about the thing. So I don't know where they're going with it. Are they putting it together to confirm it, or are they putting it together to just give us pause and make us think about it again and maybe realize that some things don't fit together if you follow those trains of thoughts? I don't know. Anyway, just let them speak. I don't ignore the heart, I ignore everything else. Okay, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
親方様、よろしいのですか?
Shall I throw this insolent man out? Genji asked Kinzo. For a while, Kinzo hung his head in silence as though remembering something from his own past.
娘は美しく育ち、生き写しになった。お前は狂気したろうな。
Shall I clean up? Yeah.
だが、それでお前が全て満たされていたかは怪しい。なぜなら、お前にとってベアトリーチェは生まれ変わりであっても、当の本人にとってはそうではなかったからだ。
なぜそのようなことがわかるのか。
本人は自分がベアトリーチェと呼ばれることに違和感を拭えずにいた。人は生まれながらに与えられた自分の名前に違和感を覚えることはない。だが彼女は覚えた。それはベアトリーチェという名が自分のものではないことを。彼女
In Ecuadorian, she asked both Kinzo and Rosa about who she was.
わらわは何者なのか。皆はわらわのことをベアトリーチェと呼ぶ。それは確かにそなたの言うように偉大な魔女の名前らしい。しかしそれはわらわではないのだ。わらわには魔法など何も使えぬ。わらわはその魔女の魂をこの身に封じられているだけなのだ。
記憶はいずれ戻ったのだ。
I guess so, Christian.
あれは紛れもなくベアトリーチェの生まれ変わり。記憶は戻りつつあった。我が魔術の儀式によって。 わずかずつではあるが記憶を取り戻しつつあった。
当主様。
驚くことじゃねえ。これまでのゲームの情報を並べりゃ導かれるそのままの答えだ。上層のベアトリーチェはそれを指して死んで逃れた魔女の魂を逃さず肉の体に捕らえて閉じ込めたと。そして記憶も力も封じられていると例えた。その解釈もこの推理なら筋が通る。
ウィラード様、親方様は偉大なる魔法の儀式により亡きベアトリーチェ様の生まれ変わりの赤子を得たのでございます。それを否定することはできません。
コウノトリを否定はしね
え。I will contradict the story.
そして金蔵がどれだけベアトリーチェという女を深く愛していたかも、忘れがたみにどういう愛情を注ぐかは人の勝手だ。育つほどに似ていくその姿に金蔵が愛ゆえに特別な感情を持ったとしても、俺はそれを人間らしい感情だと思うぜ。
お前に我が愛が理解できるというのか。
理解する資格はねえ。だが否定する資格もね
え。おお、ベアトリーチェ、私を許してくれ。
Kizo sobbed quietly for a while, wiping away his tears. Because of love, he believed she was Beatrice reborn and raised her that way. Oh, yeah. However, somewhere in his heart, he might have felt pangs of conscience, telling him that he might be forcing his emotions on someone who wasn't really Beatrice. Then the Beatrice of Quadorian had an unexpected guest, Rosa. Did we start this whole conversation with them even denying that Quadorian existed? I don't understand what we're doing here, but okay. Sure. She had a guest, Rosa. Unable to believe that she was the Beatrice that Kinzo desired, and suffering from her inability to understand who she was, she expressed a desire to escape to the outside world. Then she fell from the cliff and died.
源氏は表に出せぬその死を内々で処理した。そう仕切ったのは死者のためにやるんじゃない。生きてる人間が死んだ人間への未練を断ち切るために行うもんだ。それができなかった。だからただれたんだ。
ベアトリーチェ、
おじい様。
あんたは愛人の娘を、いやベアトリーチェを2度失った。その悲しみを表に出すことができず胸の奥に押し込み、それがやがてただれて狂気に変わった。それが晩年まで異常なまでのオカルト趣味に駆り立てる。
Well, okay, we solved the mystery.
ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ、なぜに2度までも私の前から去るのか。お前の微笑みを、その美しい髪を、瞳を、私は2度も抱きしめながら、なぜに2度も死すのか。それほどまでに私を。
By now, Kinzo wasn't even trying to suppress his sobs. Sometimes he scratched at his head in anguish. Other times he faced the heavens like an opera singer. Kinzo yelled over and over again, repeating Beatrice's name. Right. Can we leave it here? I think, for me, it's good. We can leave it here. Yep, alright. Sounds good. Alright. Here we go. Safe and sound for next time. Yeah, thanks for joining, Zuko, and everyone. I don't know what to think. I'm not gonna say anything else. I've said enough nonsense, I suppose, for one night, so we'll see. Yeah, thank you for being there, Ice-chan. And sorry for your internet troubles. Did I miss anything else? No, I think I read everything. Oh, yeah. Super sweet. Yeah, thank you all as well. I don't know what to say. I'm racking my brains, but I don't know if I have anything intelligible or intelligent or just something that actually forms a sentence to say right now. So I guess I'll just stick to saying good night and thank you for joining me again. And I guess we'll keep going with the madness next time. As per schedule on Tuesday. Oh yeah, maybe refresher that next week we're gonna be doing Tuesday and Wednesday because I can't stream on Thursday. So if that works for you, it's great. Otherwise, it's alright. I've debated if I should just skip the stream or move it. I personally prefer to move it. So yeah. Nesutrice. yeah, everything's it just like started out of the gate like really strong. So I also need a little bit of time to adjust, right? Because there's like the setting is completely new characters. The premise is not the premise, but I guess Burns' touch is different from what we've experienced before. So I gotta consider that as well, at least to some extent. So yeah, we will see. Yep. Looking at the dates, yeah. So next week will be the 20th and the 21st. Yep, I will see you there. Takazaki Jidori wants to experience Burns' touch. Ay, that's. I wouldn't have thought about it. I meant more like in terms of her style. But that was a good one, Pancho. I'm sure Chidori appreciated it. Yep. Alrighty. Also maybe for context, I slept like 5 hours last night, so if I'm in a bit of a daze, that's also it. I'm kind of just at my limit. So yeah, I will go rest. I have also an early day tomorrow, so yep. Wish you all a nice end to your day wherever you are on this days and me. Yes. Wherever you are on this planet in the whatever time frame, nice continuation or end to your day. Have a relaxing and cool weekend. I will be doing some more Honkai Star Rail on Saturday if there's any moment where you feel like you want to participate and chill with us. That would be great. I'm looking forward to it. I really liked it last week. And for the Umineko schedule, like I said, next week it's the 20th and 21st. So see you then. Take care. Sleep tight as well. Yeah. Love you all. Bye bye.